Most people recognize Super Mario 64 as one of the biggest games in history of Nintendo 64 life cycle. This was the game that first launched into the system and actually became the most popular game out there and the best-selling Nintendo 64 game of all time. And thanks to this game, there will be modders out there paying tribute and everything, showing people what they can actually do with a modded Super Mario 64 game. This is a game called Super Mario 64 Through the Ages, made by Kaze and a few other people, with the whole modeling and soundtrack. For this game's story, it basically is, the story of this game is that Mario got a false copyright strike from Waluigi, which accuses him of stealing his own game. Which is not the case here, as you'll see in the game soon. Now, unfortunately, I do got a downside news about this game. If you guys are thinking about bringing this game to your own hardware, which is the Nintendo 64 system, I unfortunately have bad news as the game is not hardware compatible, and the owner himself of the game has stated it is not compatible, and this was in development before the wholly new Super Mario 64 modified engine actually existed. With this game, they came with brand new mechanics, such as a brand new camera that actually rotates pretty well. No longer need to tap in the C buttons all the time, which you can now just hold them. There have also been a brand new mechanic in the game, in which you can use Pokemon to help you in your adventures of the stars. A hunter can actually go turn you cloak for temporary, and you can also use Staryu, or one of those star Pokemon, which is a water type, which can actually help you levitate up in the air thanks to water. You also have the Golem, which can actually blow up obstacles out of the way, so that way you can advance to some certain stars. You also got another one out there, which is Onyx, which actually can help you come across some places where you can't get across, and a few other more of them as you will. Now, there aren't that many Pokemon for you to use, but one that looks like a magnet can actually help you gather coins from far distance, which is actually a pretty unique idea, considering it is magnet after all, and it really does make sense for a Pokemon with magnets. Another newly made mechanic for the game also includes you diving underwater, but the thing is you're wearing this swimsuit. Well, it's not really a suit, but it has this oxygen tank with a big helmet. I think you guys will know what I'm talking about when you guys play this. But you also got another new mechanic, which is, well, this only takes place in one map, which is Namek. Yeah, there's a Namek map. The same place as Dragon Ball, believe it or not. And what's even cool about the place is that you can actually fly, just like the real Saiyans in the whole show. But your fly meter is temporary, but it is cool to see something new and fresh in the game. In the returning mechanics, they actually brought back the big and small mechanic, which was used in Mario 64, the original game. As you go to a warp pipe, you can actually go big and small, which they brought that back for another place, which is the Alice in Wonderland place. Yep, they're bringing Alice in Wonderland to Super Mario 64. It's something new to me. I'm so surprised to see a Disney game, Waffle, being added to the whole thing. They also brought in some Donkey Kong, the original arcade version, to be honest, the Donkey Kong, which you actually do see there, which is actually pretty cool to say the least, considering this is a Donkey Kong stage. Speaking of new stuff, they also brought in a merchant mechanic, which actually lets you use your stars as actual money. You can buy yourself a cannon, a wing cap, and various of Pokemon to help you on your journey. And as you guys continue getting all these stars, more pipes keep growing and growing, and the more it grows, the more they'll tell you that you can play at a certain level. Now, there are only 11 courses, and the total number of stars are 95. The game was originally advertised to aim at 70, but it has surpassed the 70-star limit. The game itself also has some brand new boss fights, which are pretty creative, but at the same time, it can be pretty hard to figure out what you're supposed to do. But if you get yourself the idea in your head what you're supposed to do, I'm sure you get past some of these bosses. The hardest one out of them is Medusa, as you're not supposed to look at her. which can be very hard, and you have to really use your skills from Mario 64 in order to surpass her. You don't necessarily fight her, but you really do have to get past her in some sort of way. I believe this game has been developed within over a year, and I think it shows how great this game has been put and so much effort into it. This is one of the games I think you guys will definitely enjoy if you guys have the time and day to you know, actually play the game. I should also mention that there are brand new enemies in the game, such as, well, they're Goombas, but they throw spears at you. Completely different from what I've seen of Goombas. Glad to see they're giving some love, and they actually do something for once, instead of just standing around and trying to ram you over. Seems more threatening than ever before, which is good. But it is nice to see some new enemies in the game, but some of the enemies you can't even hurt them for whatever reason being. But I understand that. But we do get some other returning enemies, such as Boos. Yeah. You also got these flying Koopas, which are like Saiyans, like I was saying before, about Saiyans in the Namek area, in which you can actually ram them over by flying into them. Of course, one of my favorite missions in the game is to find some Dragon Balls. Yes, you can actually find Dragon Balls in a Mario game. Imagine that. This is a collaboration that I didn't think anyone would want, but it actually works pretty well for this game. And you can even find Bulma in the game, which is surprising to me. And they even got her model exactly great in the game as well. I should also mention one of my favorite mechanics in the game is that when you fall off the edge, you can actually respawn without starting the whole level over and over again. But this will cost you one of your pies, so be careful on your next move. I think if you guys give this game a chance, you can see how much effort this guy and the other people who has developed the game has actually put in so much effort into the game. I can also say that this game uses the expansion pack for so many different reasons, which is actually a good thing, as this is how you do whatever you can do with an expansion pack. So you guys have the time and day, make sure you guys give this game a chance and play the game, and see if you guys will actually enjoy the game. But of course, I can't wait to see his newly game that's coming out, which is Return to Yoshi's Island, using the brand new engine that he has developed. And the game, from what I've seen, is going to run into 40 frames per second, or at least try to target the 60 frames, which actually shows up pretty well, and it will be Nintendo 64 hardware compatible. And that's actually pretty cool. So, I hope you guys will like this game. What do you guys think about this game? If you guys like the game, I hope you guys let me know what your experience is. So, I hope you guys will like them, and I'll see you guys next time.